knights and fellow lords, so good to see you today, coming into the Dark Temple, visited by Mara Jade, Luke Skywalker, and Kyle Katarn, and so many of the Force sensitives like yourself. I'm Lord Dagovere, fam, and we got so much to talk about today, man. Let's go. How y'all doing today? Yo, yo, yo. Yo, yo, fam. Trent in the chat. Logan, so good to see you. Skywalker Academy. Let's freaking go. Sith Lord Revan on Instagram. Yo, we got Russell on TikTok. We got it all going. It might be a little crazy today. It might be too much to handle. But hey, if you guys haven't seen, we're doing a YouTube Live, as always, where all the apprentices and acolytes are. So come on in and join the fun. But it's so good to see you guys. We got a lot to talk about today with the hot takes and craziness of the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer. Can I get, for the first time today, ready up? Let's go. Let's go. How y'all doing today? How's everybody doing today? Ready up. Yeah, man. How you guys doing? So, I guess we'll wait for everyone to trickle on in and see how this goes. But I definitely want to see. I want to know everybody. I want to know everybody's view about what is happening with the Mando and Grogu trailer. I want to know everybody's view. There is so much going on today that we're going to talk about, and I definitely want to hear everybody's take. So anybody in there, yo, Simple, Sith Lord, Phoenix, Eric, Bread King, Harl, Russell, Dave on TikTok as well. I know there's going to be a lot of fun stuff to go today. But by the way, guys, we should be live on everything that I have. So TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. I'm trying to do all this stuff at the same time. It's a little difficult, but hey. How y'all doing today, huh? What's going on, fam? You know, we are so close to October, and that means 29th is going to be Star Wars Visions is going to be released as well. So there's going to be a lot going on, man. I can't wait for that one. My propaganda for Star Wars Visions is going to be starting soon. But Logan says, just got the 1996 Jabba's Palace pop-up book in the mail. Whoa, what the flip? You're going to have to, dude, you're going to have to put photos of that in the Discord. Yo, Scott, thank you so much for coming over the stream. So good to see you, fam. Appreciate you. We're over here on YouTube as well if you guys want to join in. There's a Discord link in the profile as well. Yeah, hype provisions? Yeah, everybody's hype provision. Grogu, capitalism for the win. Jedi Connor, thank you so much for coming in, fam. So good to see you. Appreciate you. By the way, guys, make sure you guys follow the Starlight podcast that me, Jedi Connor, Daddy Sheev have as well. A lot of good stuff going on, man. I'm always so glad to see you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Let's go. Yo, Chaco, so good to see you, fam. Thank you so much, my guy, coming in here. Let's go. Let's go. Hope you guys doing well. I'm not sure if the I don't know if anyone can hear me on Instagram. Let me know, because the whole feed over there looks a little weird. But I may have to end it. But let me know if anyone's over there. Is your podcast live? Yes, it is. It is live. It is live. Well, this is my stream. If you're talking about Starlight podcast, Starlight is Johnny and I and Daddy Sheev we're trying to do it live, but we still haven't necessarily figured out how to go live. I mean, I could probably just stream it on my end, but it's kind of like we're going at our own pace type of thing. We're just like really focused on making sure we do the podcast in general, but we're trying to graduate to that. We want to get overlays and stuff done. So it's slow going, but we're making progress, and it's banger after banger, man. Really glad I found people that really really can handle me and who I am. So it's been really fun. Yo, thank you so much, Shannon, for joining the stream, fam. So good to see you. Yo, can I get everybody another ready up on Instagram and TikTok? Let's go. All right, so we're gonna get into the nitty gritty. We're gonna get right into the nonsense here, because I'm actually ending the Instagram live right now because I don't think anyone is joining that. So I'm just gonna focus on TikTok and everything else. So guys, Mando and Grogu trailer released today. How are you feeling about it? How are you feeling about the Mando and Grogu trailer? I gotta know. I feel like everybody has something to say on it. Something going on. Interesting. Stream status is poor. Okay. Did not know that. Wow. Yo, Leon, so good to see you. Everybody welcome Leon with the Ready Up. Fears more like a show than a movie. The stream's moving at 1. Okay, 1. Okay, all right. All right, well, it is what it is. I don't know why. I may have to excited. Everyone seems to be mad. Interesting. That's so weird. I don't know why. Let me see something here, guys. Let me see. One second. Put one. I'm trying to figure out why it's doing this. Give me 1 second, guys. Yeah, I don't know why YouTube is being weird. Bro, it's crazy because I have 300 upload speed, so I don't know why. Everybody that's on TikTok is like I'm doing it on TikTok and it looks fine, so I don't know what's going on. It's actually got I got a jump just about to film when I saw you. Okay, man, yeah, enjoy yourself, dude. Go out there and do your thing. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me do this. So, guys, what I'm gonna do on the stream is I'm going to stop the stream real quick, restart it, and come back. So don't go anywhere. And then I'm going to end this live on TikTok as well and see if that changes it. All right. So give me a second. Maybe like go get a drink of water or something and come back. All right. 3, 2, 1. All right. Let me know if there is any difference, guys. I don't know why. I mean, I really don't know why it's messing up. My internet is like very fast. Been a week already? Yeah, buddy. Let me see. I'm gonna check my upload speed real quick. Yeah, my upload speed is 200, so I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. Is it still messing up for you guys? Is it still wonky for you guys? Still messed up? It's so weird because it says on my end that the okay, yeah, it's good now. Okay, yes, I don't know. Core World Hollow Knight. Yeah, I know. I don't know why, man. Whenever someone says, "Hey, man, your stream's bugging," I'm like, dude, I don't know. I think it's you. So I don't know what that was about. 811. It still says poor though. I don't know why it says poor. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, alrighty. So let's get into it. So back to what we were saying. I think that a lot of people are very, very, very disappointed with the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer. I don't know if it's because they don't think it looks like Andor. I'm not sure if it's because it doesn't look like Andor or The Force Awakens, whatever it is, whatever the issue is. I think that I don't know. I have a very interesting take that I don't know why people thought the Mandalorian and Grogu movie was going to be something that it wasn't, and something that it's not is Andor. Something that is not is The Force Awakens. You know, so I think at the end of the day, we knew what it was. We knew what it was going to be. You know, and as I set up this choppy TikTok stream, I don't know, guys. Like, genuinely speaking, I personally felt like we got what we got. Like that's what it is. You know, that's gonna be the Mando and Grogu movie. You know, I'm not saying like we need to. I'm not saying like we need to excuse the Mandalorian and Grogu movie for being what it is, but I think it's very clear that it was always going to be this way. I don't think it looks bad. I just think people are very disappointed. I guess you could say, very disappointed with that it's not like episode-esque looking, you know? That's how I feel. You know, it's the first Star Wars movie in a long time since Rise of Skywalker, but it's not an episodic Star Wars movie. And I think that's where a lot of people I think that's where a lot of people are kind of having the issue with the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, you know. But I don't think that they're wrong. I don't think the criticism is wrong. I just think that the criticism is getting a little out of hand with some of the stuff that we're going to talk about today. Thank you so much, Harlem. Coming back. Logan says, if Mando is a theatrical release, I think it may perform poorly for general audience casuals. Too many shows you have to watch to first understand. I don't think so. I actually think that you don't need to watch anything to watch this movie. And I think that's going to be the whole point, because I see this almost like a soft reset for the entire Mandoverse. I genuinely believe that this is kind of like their first phase of going into the Heir to the Empire, whatever that they're going to do in this Mandoverse. I think they have a lot of plans for this story, and I genuinely believe like you won't have to know anything to watch this movie. And that's the whole reason why Grogu is in the title, because Grogu makes money. I think that they understand their fan base for this movie, and I think that their fan base is kids and girls that think Baby Yoda is cute, and families. That's who I truly believe that this movie is being made for. That's why the title is the way it is. I don't think this is going to be a thriller and/or, super insane greatest Star Wars movie of all time. And I think that they understand it's not going to be that way. I'm not making excuses for the level of quality that it's going to be. I'm just saying everybody thinking that it's an episodic Star Wars movie in that terms of quality, I think greatly misunderstood what this movie was going to be. I guess you could blame Star Wars for that, I guess. Yo, thank you so much, Bad Cakes, for joining the stream. Appreciate you. Trent says, it's hard for people to accept just the fun and adventure when we've been dying to progress overall Star Wars Jedi storyline for a long time. But Trent, I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. Like, I don't think that's a wrong thing to criticize. I think that's absolutely the situation. I think also, thank you so much, Connor, for helping me, by the way. I think also what people do not understand, and maybe even Lucasfilm doesn't understand, is that Andor has, how can I say this? Andor has helped the Star Wars audience become more mature. And I'm not saying like, oh, they're grown-ups now. No, I'm talking about you can see how a spy dark thriller works in Star Wars. You can see how a drama works in Star Wars. And I think that now people are really going to be missing that taste, that quality that Andor has brought to the table. Now, I personally feel like this Mando movie, thank you so much, Jacob, is kind of going to be the end of that TV quality era of Star Wars that we've gotten, and Starfighter is hopefully going to bring us into this new era of Andor production. That's what I'm hoping, but I genuinely believe when I look at the photos for Starfighter and I look at the pre-production for The Mandalorian and Grogu, it looks like two different genres in two different styles and a complete different realm of quality. That's what I believe, honestly. I could be coping. Who knows? Leon says it doesn't have to be Episode X to be mind-blowing. Yeah, I don't disagree. But I think also you're looking at like $400 million in budget for like Episode 10 versus barely over $100 million for Mando and Grogu. And I think that's kind of the issue there too with the Mando and Grogu stuff being set up. That's how I feel. That's genuinely that's how I feel about the whole thing. It's not just about money. I just think it's about how seriously they take the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, and they're just doing it to make money because that's why Grogu's in the title. It's just going to be a fun thing. It's not going to be a bad movie. I don't think it's going to be a bad movie at all. I think it's going to be really fun and enjoyable. But I think that's it. I think that if you're looking at some incredible story, character development, you're not really going to get that. I think it's just going to be an adventure with Grogu and Daddy Mando, and that's it. Wow, that's it. I think they saw how successful Mandalorian could be if they didn't make the mistakes that they did, and they maybe said, "Let's do this again and soft reset it and make a movie about it." Because movies make money, and we can't make money anymore in the streaming service, so that's why they decided to make the Mando and Grogu movie. That's honestly how I feel. All of those things encompassing why this is even a thing at all. Leon says Rogue One was a spinoff and it was phenomenal. Yes, but Rogue One, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Like, that was a more serious era of Star Wars, And I'm not saying that things are not serious now, but like the Mandalorian has always been Saturday morning cartoon. It has always been an adventure to go on, like Flash Gordon and Westerns, right? That's what I believe that what is Mando. That's what this movie is going to be. It's going to be like that again, I just feel like the problem with it is it seems like Mando started before Andor production began, and they just didn't want to change anything, and they're stuck with that Mando way. And it looks like Starfighter is doing the newer things that they know can work with the production that they've done with Andor. I genuinely, when you look at these two things, I guarantee you that movie is going to be so much better looking. I just can't see it in any world unless Lucasfilm has literally lost the plot. And I don't believe that entirely. Ahmad says, I am all for different types of Star Wars stories, but they also at least need to excel in those stories. Mando Season 3 felt lackluster, and the new trailer felt like that. I don't disagree with you. I did enjoy Mando Season 3. I liked Bo-Katan. I liked the story that they had. I just don't think that the story was as solid as the first two seasons, because the first two seasons of The Mandalorian, in my opinion, are the best Star Wars. Some of the best. Like, when I say the best Star Wars, like, when you picture the best Star Wars projects, that's what I picture up there with the first two Mandalorian seasons. Season 3 was not that. It wasn't bad. I didn't think it was bad. But I think now, because of that, whatever it was, yes, perhaps maybe now people are not going to really care about The Mandalorian, but families are going to watch that movie. There's going to be a lot of people that watch that movie. That movie's going to make at least 500 million, at least, because of families. But I genuinely believe too that this is not going to be the redeemer of The Mandalorian. I just think it's going to be a silly, fun movie. That's what I think. I just think it's going to be... I don't think it's going to be anything serious, guys. I think if you're going into this movie and thinking it's going to be the greatest Star Wars movie ever, or Andor level quality, I think you're setting yourself up for failure and setting yourself up for disappointment. Seriously. Yo, thank you, Michael. Thank you, Sandra. Everybody coming in here. Appreciate you guys on TikTok. We're on YouTube Live as well. Skywalker Academy says, I agree with Ahmad. The volume works, but it's time to go back. Yeah, I do not like the volume anymore. I thought the volume was so well done in the first season, but that's because it worked out so well. You can clearly see in these other shows like Kenobi, the volume just doesn't cut it anymore. And there's also like other movies that I've seen that have used the volume, and it just looks so bad. Like, they just don't know how to use it. It's like you're in someone else's kitchen and you clearly have no idea where any of the pots and pans are, what's in the pantry. Like, no one actually absolutely knows how to use the volume. And that's how I've felt about it since maybe Kenobi. It's just, some of those shots just look so bad, just look so off and weird, Andor just, I don't know how you go back to doing a movie or a show when you have excelled at the level that Andor has. Like, Andor has laid out the print. Obviously, you don't need to invest into it like you did with that, but there's a clear foundation to build on. And I don't think the Mandalorian and Grogu movie is doing any of that. I guarantee you it's not doing any of that. I expect Starfighter to. And we've seen that because they're in locations, because of the leaks and the photos that they've been pushing out. So it looks to me, guys, like 2 different kitchens and 2 different people cooking. So I think we all know how this is going to end at the end of the day. Secret Agent, thank you so much for coming over here. Everybody welcome Secret Agent with the ready up. Secret Agent says, I'm sorry, but this trailer was just bad. I hope I'm wrong. I would love to be wrong. So, Chad, do you think this trailer was bad? I don't think that the trailer was bad. I think the trailer is just slow and silly, and it's not showing anything. Does that mean the trailer is bad? I mean, I'm genuinely asking. Like, I would like to know. You think it was bad? Leon says he thinks it was bad. Okay. Bugsy, thanks so much for coming in the stream. Everybody, welcome Bugsy with a ready up. Time to harass the actor for Grogu. Bugsy says, I think the trailer was mediocre for a movie that has a lot of hype behind it. I don't think Mandalorian and Grogu has a lot of hype behind it. I think Mandalorian and Grogu has very obviously kind of like slid around and been kind of, in my opinion, cast aside. I think Ahsoka Season 2, I think Starfighter have completely outshined. I think Dawn of the Jedi movie that hasn't had a lick of anything has more hype. I don't think anybody particularly was excited about the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, and that's coming from a very down-to-earth Legends and new canon fan. That's how I feel. I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think anybody was like, man, I can't wait for Mando and Grogu after season 3. You know, I don't think anybody was saying that. You know, I love the editing. Yeah, I mean, the editing is cool. I dug how fun it was. I just like, you know, I think that they focused on the idea of the movie being fun. This is a Grogu and Mandalorian story. This is not a Bo-Katan story. This is not a Sabine Wren story. This is not a Boba Fett story. This is a Mandalorian and Grogu story. When you watch the first teaser trailers of the first Mandalorian trailer and watch the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer, they are almost identical with the way they are. Grief Karga is sitting there waiting for Mandalorian to walk into a cantina. Sigourney Weaver is sitting there at a table at Nema Outpost waiting for Grogu and Mandalorian. It is practically the same, and I think that's why this is going to be somewhat of a light reset for the Mandoverse. They're just saying this is where the story is actually starting because we can make money now, and it's going to be a nice, simple, fun story for us to get everybody excited for. Roll credits and end credit of Thrawn walking in, and this is going to be season 2 of Ahsoka and the heir to the Empire movie for Dave Filoni. You heard it here. You heard it here. The movie is going to end with Grogu growing, and he's going to have his first real piece of armor and say, "This is the way, Father." You heard it here first. That's why the movie is greenlit. That's why it's going to be a thing. Genuinely. Genuinely. I think there will be cool moments and stuff, but I think it'll be all right overall. Yes, Logan, 100%. I think the movie will be a good 7 out of 10. A very high 7 out of 10. It might be an 8 for me because I love The Mandalorian, and once I hear that damn soundtrack, I love that. I love that song so much, man. I love that song so much, dude. Yo, thank you so much for joining over there, Jedi Connor. Appreciate you, fam. Trying to get over here. I'm so annoyed that the stream didn't work with the damn... man. I had it. It still says poor, by the way, guys. Is the stream still sputtering for you guys? That's so weird. I'm not used to that. Secret Agent says, honestly, I think we all hope for the Mando movie to have to have everyone in it. Ahsoka, Mando, Boba Fett, one giant crossover while pushing the narrative forward. It's not Marvel. It's not Marvel. But I don't think you're wrong in believing that should have happened. From day one, I was like, I just don't understand why the Mandoverse doesn't have phases. I'm not even sure why you make TV series at this point, because you know the streaming service doesn't make money. So why not just make these series movies and get it going? You have recast Luke Skywalker, recast Leia, bring Aiden back for Han Solo. You have Lando and Gambino. Just do it. Just do it. You have Thrawn. You have everything. Just make the movies. I think a lot of people will be more excited. I think you could slowly bring the production pipeline, streamline, whatever you want to call it, from Andor and start making Star Wars as beautiful as it should look. I think that's the way to do it. I think that you should leave the TV series for animation and some other stories that you want to tell alongside, like Andor. Andor was perfect, you know? That's personally how I would do it. But I'm just a nerd talking to the camera about Star Wars, so who gives a shit what I think? So, Bugsy says, I just want the movie to be good on the level of Rogue One. Hey, we're getting a popcorn box. So that's going to be it. Thank you so much, Logan, for joining me on TikTok as well. I really appreciate you, dude. Thank you. So Adrian says, you are right. It's not Marvel, but Marvel Phase 1 worked. They easily could pull it off and make... Yes, I don't disagree with you. I think that is the right way to execute the story if the writing is correct. But we know how that works. Leon says, the first Star Wars movie since The Rise of Skywalker should not be some Lilo and Stitch type shit. Disney's logic kills me. I would have said it nicer. And I think it's okay, right? I think you should voice your honest opinion. But as I've said, I think the best way to get to people to listen to you is to talk in their language. So if Dave Filoni is in your face right now talking to you, I would advise you not to talk that way, especially if you want to be heard. But again, don't listen to me. I'm just saying, like, yes, I agree with you. But it's clear, Leon and everybody in the chat, their goal is not ours. Some people, I believe Dave Filoni would actually agree with you, but we know he's not making that choice. We know it's somebody else. We know it's probably Bob Iger. We know it's probably Disney. Because at the end of the day, this is why it's a movie, because they want to make money. And don't get me started on that Lilo and Stitch remake. Jesus Christ, I hated that thing. Ohana means give your family away, batch. I had to say it, man. I hated that movie. I hated that live action remake so much. Oh my God. Jesus. You guys are going to get me really crazy. I try so hard not to dip into the dark side when I'm on this stream. Skywalker Academy says, honestly, if you want to make a show, then make a show instead of a movie that is chopped into 6 episodes. I believe you. Logan says, no, I am. Filoni in the face, I'm flipping the nerd's hat off. Yeah, F his Plo Koon cosplay. How dare he? You guys are so silly. Hell, Lilo and Stitch looks better than this. No, it does not. Don't you say that. That is ridiculous. No, it does not. No, that movie was not. I don't think any of the live action remakes have been good. And I'm not even a Disney fan, dude. Like, Lion King, I like Lion King and a few other things, but nah, man. Lilo and Stitch is a good movie, man. But that one, nah, I can't. Yo, SJ, thanks so much for coming to the party. Everybody welcome SJ with a ready up. Secret Agent says, thanks, man. I know we haven't also agreed in the past. We've gone into comments before, but I respect you as a fan of Star Wars. I'm headed out. Have a good night. Thank you so much, Secret. I hope you have a good day and enjoy the rest of your time, fam. Deuces. Skywalker Academy says, he's just replying to Leon. All right, guys. So let's do some crazy hot takes in the chat. I saw some crazy stuff, and I want to, as always, complain to you guys about these certain takes that I always see online. And wow, why is that freaking... Okay, whatever. What the flip? Why is that so bad? All right, we'll just do this. All right, we'll just do this. All right, here we go. Guys, I'm gonna be really silly today. I'm trying not to be so dumb, but sometimes I just can't help my stupidity. All right, here we go. What the flip? Where's my face? Okay, here we go. So, all right, here we go. So this is the first one that I saw. Well, that's not the first one. It's one of them. And it says, Mando trailer's so bad, it's fast-tracking sequel trilogy redemption by, like, 10 years. So, come on, guys. Come on, are we serious? Like, are we... jump scare warning?
Apologies.
So, don't believe... Yeah, I don't. I don't even know what that means. So, I want to let you guys know. I enjoy parts of the sequel trilogy, and I think that there are parts of the sequel trilogy that genuinely are hated too much. That being said, I can't stand a lot of it, okay? But I know that people are trolling. But there are some people that are taking this shit so seriously, guys. It's embarrassing, man. Like, genuinely, guys, I have to ask the question that I always ask. What are we doing? What are we doing, guys? Like, what are we doing? Why are we acting this way? Do you guys forget how good the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian are? I plead with anybody that is convinced that The Mandalorian is a bad TV show to listen to the child theme, to listen to the Mandalorian theme, to listen to the Book of Boba Fett theme. Do you remember how much happiness and joy that was like ice in your veins, bro? Ice in my veins. Ice in my veins. I don't know how you can rewatch the first season and then go into the first episode of the second season and say, this is a bad show. Yes, guys, I understand. The Mando and Grogu trailer was not what you expected. But any joke like this is just wild, man. I cannot support that opinion. Skywalker Academy says, don't get me wrong, the sequel films look good visually, especially The Last Jedi, but no Mandalorian and Grogu has me overall excited. Yes, yeah, me too. Yes, I'm more excited. Okay, no, that is not true. For me, that's not true. What's up, James? How you doing, my guy? Thank you so much, fam. For me, when I was going into The Rise of Skywalker, actually, I was numb. That's true. Yep, I was numb. I was still hurt over I was pretty butthurt over The Last Jedi. Never mind. Forget what I said. Next. Okay, so... All right, so next, let's get on track with the next one. And this was the second thing that I had seen and I wanted to show with you guys. Sorry, but if Mando has a new Razor Crest in the movie, then what was the point of wasting time in the Book of Boba Fett with a pimp ride scene? Why? I mean, like, you can use this excuse for every single new lightsaber Anakin has had, or Obi-Wan has had, or Luke Skywalker has had. And Mando was very open to Pele that he wanted a Razor Crest. In the moment that he got a new Razor Crest, that's what he was going to have. It's not that he doesn't like the Nubian. The Razor Crest is home. The Razor Crest represents the first season of The Mandalorian and him finding Grogu. He can't even really take care of Grogu the way that he wants to with the Nubian. At the very least, yes, he has his entire shack now on the planet with Grief Karga and where the Mandalorian land is now. But Mando's Razor Crest is kind of like a home away from home. I think that the Razor Crest, in my opinion, is the Mandalorian ship for Din Djarin. That's how I feel. What do you guys feel? Yo, Andy, so good to see you, fam. Thank you so much for being here. Everybody in there. Look at all the cool kids on TikTok. Let's go. I think Din's new ship was too small, but I don't know about him getting another Razor. Should be like an upgraded Razor than the actual 1-to-1. That, I think, in my opinion, is a better criticism than this. I, too, would also like the 2025 Forerunner, not the 2012. I get you. I hear you on that. I think that is a very good one. Selena G, thank you so much for coming into the chat on TikTok. What are you doing? SJ says, Razor Crest is fan service. We are going to Season 2 Mando. Even Grogu isn't wearing his plate all the time. I think that is a fine criticism, honestly. I really don't mind. For me, it's about the Lego sets, okay? If the Razor Crest is coming back and I get another shot and another opportunity at the Razor Crest 2.0 with the yellow on the top, hey, I'm buying it. I'm sorry, okay? I'm fine with it, but I hear the criticism, and I accept them. I understand, but you know what, man? I'm about it. I'm about it. Do you guys remember my reaction to the tragedy? The real tragedy was not Grogu being taken away. It was the Razor Crest being destroyed. Do you guys not remember my face? Dude, I may bring that shit up right now. Didn't know you went live. Just popped up on my For You page. Yeah, that's what they all say. Emmy, thank you so much for joining the stream. James, of course, liking the chat away. What a legend. I may have to show you guys again. There was like a huge meme of me out there back in the day because I was so hyped about seeing about Boba Fett going around and destroying people, and then the Razor Crest gets destroyed, and then it's just me being depressed. So it was hilarious. Oh my gosh. Jason, thanks so much for coming over the stream. Says, I was excited about the Mandalorian Grogu movie until I saw the trailer. They showed too much, and it all seemed like set pieces they wrote a story around rather than building sets for a story they wrote. Yeah, I mean, I think you're correct. It is what it is. I kind of knew the Mando and Grogu movie was going to be this, just a glorified Mandalorian Season 4, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I think people are probably most disappointed that it doesn't look like a Star Wars movie. I just think it looks fine. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe it'll look better. We are still months and months away from this movie. To me, when it looks like a duck and it sounds like a duck, it's probably a whack, but it is what it is. Leon, SJ says, and that's the point of the movie. All videos I saw about the trailer have one thing in common. All say this or that Lego is set is mine and it's coming out, and I fear the movie will exist for more. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, fam. I understand completely what you're saying. And do you remember? I can't remember if it was like 2 years ago or something, and I think what the hell were they saying? I think there was like this year alone, like I think it was Hasbro had made like $1 billion in Star Wars merch or something like that. Do you remember that? I'm the problem, guys. Okay? I mean, I stopped buying Black Series years ago because I just hate the way the faces are printed out, and I stopped buying Funko Pops outside of my my Old Republic boys. But Lego, Daddy Darius got a new addiction. All right, Dagovere is always going to Target now to make sure I find the new MTT set that just dropped. I'm hearing about this UCS Super Star Destroyer, and I'm about to throw my money at it. I'm the problem, guys. I'm the problem. I'm sorry. It is what it is. It is what it is, guys. Oh my gosh. Yo, thank you so much, David Torres, for coming over here. I missed you, fam. Hope you're doing well. Everybody welcome David Torres with the ready up. Logan says, I hide under my bed when Daddy Dago comes home with more Lego. Oh man, I'm still a little sick, but that got my cough like crazy. Skywalker Academy says, I think it's a safe option for the I think it's a safe option for the first Star Wars movie to be basic. Nothing groundbreaking and trying to repair the reputation. Will they succeed? Who knows? I think that's yes. Because that's also what I like about this movie is it's not shying away from what it is. Like, hey, Mando and Grogu's back. You want to see the Razor Crest, you want to see Grogu, you want to see Din Djarin, we got it for you. You didn't have that in season 3. We're sorry. Here it is. Now just take this and hopefully this does well, so now we can get into the good stuff with Starfighter and Dawn of the Jedi and Heir to the Empire and Episode 10. That's my thinking behind it, you know. Yo, thank you, Padawans fam. So good to see you. Let's freaking go. Ready up. Just bought the U-Wing last Saturday. Dude, that is a good set. The one that I want right now, or I'm hoping comes out, is the TIE. Was it? What the Vengeance? What the hell was Cassian driving in Andor? I mean, I as soon as a new series comes, I just forget everything that was over there. But I want that TIE that he had, man. That man. Yes, the Avenger. The Avenger. Yo, everybody in the chat say Avenger. Are you live on YouTube? Yeah, I am. I'm live on YouTube. I was doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff today, and I don't know, my internet just couldn't handle it. I don't know, it needs to get to the gym. It's ridiculous. All right. I think I have a few more of these. Anyway, guys, long story short, I think you're absolutely in every right, in every capacity to criticize the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. But I've seen so much toxic crap on the internet recently about how people hate Mando and they hate the Mando and Grogu movie. Like I'm just so I don't get it. You know, like I genuinely I can't tell the difference between both sides of the fandom anymore. Strictly when it's talking about Star Wars. It's the same. To me it is the same. And it's so crazy. It's repeated. It's so repetitive these days, man. It's insane. I think there was one more thing that I wanted to check. Oh, guys, you guys ready for some shit news? Star Wars is a buffet. Jedi Connor, they're not as open-minded as us, you know. Pre-recorded stream, typical Dago smear. Also, thoughts coming on the pod Thursday? Oh shit, yeah, that'd be cool. I think Starlight and I do it Wednesday or Thursday. It depends, but I'll let you know. That sounds awesome. I'm totally down. I'll pop in another time. I just wanted to home from work, and after 10 hours, get some sleep. Yep, typical nib action. Here we go. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Theater events are supposed to be special, and it just doesn't feel special. I disagree, Leon. I guarantee you will be excited when you walk into those doors on opening night. It's too far, man. It's not even 2026 yet. I guarantee you'll be hype. Your boy will be hype. If you want to come down to Orlando, Florida, and watch it with your boy, I'm here, man. We will be hyped about it, okay? We will be excited. And if it's poop, then I'm sorry. You just wasted a plane ticket. My God, I am so sorry. I am so bad. I am so sorry. I'll reach out to Connor as well. Sick. Let's go. Let's go's in the chat. Yeah, we should have like a one day, like a whole smear podcast. That'd be really cool. What was I going to say? Okay, guys, you ready for some terrible news? Did Dagovere just go Italian for a second? Dude, I do everything. I'm mixed. I'm Puerto Rican, Cuban, Italian. You know, I get it all. All flavors, baby. Parlisette, Miley Percocet, chase a check, never chase a bitch. All right, so are you ready for some effed up stuff? So here we go, guys. So this is sadness. All right, this is some sadness. So I want to check these things out. And you're hearing it from me first. So a couple weeks ago, there was concept art that was leaked for the Knights of the Old Republic remake that Asper was doing, and then now Saber Interactive is doing. Somebody on the KOTOR Reddit is declaring that the KOTOR concept art that was leaked is fake and it's AI. So if this is true, guys, I think we're cooked. I think we're cooked because I think we're so cooked, guys. I think that we are so cooked, or we couldn't be. Here's the thing. Tomorrow is the Sony. I think tomorrow is the Sony game show, right? We might have something tomorrow. Okay. Reason why is because we haven't had anybody come out and confirm or deny about this concept art being real or fake. When it was first released and announced that there was going to be a Knights of the Old Republic remake, it was initially only on the PlayStation until later it was announced it was going to be on Xbox as well. State of play, right? So maybe, perhaps, there is a glimmer of hope here. But you boys, this shit ain't looking good right now. This is not looking good. I don't know. I don't know how much more you can fumble something than you've already have. Genuinely, as a very calm and an understanding person, thank you so much, Moto, for coming over the stream. I do not know how you can allow yourself to fail so miserably when you understand that this is practically the Empire Strikes Back for so many Star Wars fans that have continued to play this game. I do not understand how you could tiptoe around such a gentle and important product and to allow it to become whatever it is at this moment in time, which is nothing, and it's really hitting the toxic side of me. Legends fans stay losing, Logan says, and I don't disagree. You know, it's parts like this where there is nothing for me to defend. There is nothing that I can say. There is no calmness, there is no wisdom, there is no relaxation or calm mind and understanding, because I just feel like it's enough. It gets to a point where even I can't defend, you know, and I'm just like, what the flip are we doing, guys? What are we doing with this nonsense, man? Do you understand how easily you can rekindle the love of so many Legends fans? And there are a lot of people out there that do not give a shit about Legends fans. Like, genuinely, when I'm on TikTok and I'm talking about, like, I love Heir to the Empire, I love Tales of the Jedi, everybody tells me to shut the F up because Legends was no longer canon or whatever it is. It gives me the same energy as Rey's a Mary Sue and the sequels aren't canon. Like, I just can't stand it. You know, I do not like how segregated the community is. But when it comes to something that I knew, like Knights of the Old Republic, which was on my Xbox that I bought around with Halo 2, you know, this shit means something to me. And even with all of the most toxic critiques that I've had, which you've probably never heard me say, if you do this right, Lucasfilm, if you do this right, Star Wars, I feel like the fandom is saved. A perfectly, even if it's like halfway executed Knights of the Old Republic with new stuff and concept art, and even you take criticism from the community with the mods and put this ish in for a Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, and then you get yourself motivated for a 3, I don't know how the fandom can criticize you anymore if you do it right. If you don't, crucified. Done. There's just, I don't know, man. I just don't know anymore at this point. And you guys know me. You guys know my stream. I'm not one of these people that are always toxic and talking shit and whatever, you know. I defend a lot of people. I defend Kathy. I defend Dave Filoni. I defend anyone that you hate, you know. But this stuff, it's hitting me, man. It's really frustrating me. And I see the success. I still see the potential in these people that don't see the potential in themselves. And I'm just getting disappointed. I hope this isn't true. I hope this is false. And I hope that eventually we have real legitimate news on the Knights of the Old Republic remake. Because Daddy Dagovere can't take this anymore, guys. Now I'm getting tired, man. I'm getting real tired of this. Designing the thumbnail for the stream was funny. Oh, let's go. It's true. I made the art. Let's go. Does anybody else feel the way I feel about this, huh? Let me see here. Legends fan always losing. Skywalker Academy says it's been a gift to wrap for you, and it's fumbling as hard as the sequels. I'd argue it's harder because at least the sequels happened. The Knights of the Old Republic remake hasn't. There is nothing. You have a trailer that was. Let's look at this right now. Let's look at this, guys. How many years ago was it? 5? Was it 4? I think it was a while. KOTOR remake announcement. 4 years ago. 4 years ago, guys. I was in such a shitty place 4 years ago, and I feel like I've aged. My age has doubled, and still, the shit has not been put together, Damn it, man, Harris says, yeah, I play on the app cesspool of people over reacting MG and can't wait to discuss that on the pod with you. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, I do not know, guys, man. You guys know I'm calm. I'm not calm. I am not calm. You guys know I'm down to earth, and I try to make my opinions as, not offensive as possible and everything, but that is something that I get more frustrated about The Last Jedi, and I don't even tell you about how I really feel about The Last Jedi, but I just don't want to be one of those people. But the Knights of the Old Republic remake gets me more frustrated than anything, man. SJ says, but guys, remember the looks of the Mando and Grogu if they give me Jonathan Cohen in character. So that would be cool. That would be cool. That would be sick. I hear whispers. You never know. Leon says, people are just clickbaiting as usual, especially for games like this that are years away. Yeah, and I think it's also very easy to hate Lucasfilm and Star Wars and Disney. They're always a big target. You never know. You never know. I didn't even see that gain much traction, but I thought it was interesting at the very least. Logan says, representation for Legends fan is pretty much there's just here's a name drop Easter egg. Yeah, I know, and that's also just the problem with Legends too. Is it just seems like it's in a void. It seems like Legends is in a void, and I get it, I understand it, but it truly seems like the Forgotten Son at times. Logan is in a lot of my chats on comments, and he sees the type of nonsense people will say in both my face content TikTok and my lore content, and he's like, dude, like, relax. and I would say like Logan knows more than I do in terms of all Legends, but there's stuff where I'm talking about new canon. And I just say, well, I like this. And then someone is just absolutely hating me for liking Legends content. And I'm just like, dude, when did we become such radicals? It's just like, I thought we were Star Wars fans. And Star Wars, in my opinion, encompasses both continuities. Does it not? Thank you, Harith, for being in both chats. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that. So it's just frustrating, to see that at times. All the time. It's not even times, it's all the time. It's so consistent now. Skywalker Academy says, I know things take time, but something would be nice. Even just a statement saying it's happening or something. I do not understand why they just do not put a brand new piece of concept art. If you showed me concept art of Revan and Malak and Bastila in the Starforge, I will die. I don't need to do anything else. I mean, there's a lot of things I need to do. That don't happen, but but like genuinely, I don't know if I could criticize anymore. Like that would be it. That's what I need, That's what I need. Like I just need someone to come out and be like, hey, welcome home, Darth Revan. That's what I need. It's coming 2028. Holy shit, that's what I need. Yo, Reeps, thanks so much for coming over the stream. Everybody, welcome Reeps with a ready up. Appreciate that. Leon says, I'm excited for the renaissance that EU Old Republic fans are going to get when KOTOR remake comes out. Guys, like, when that remake comes out, I want to stream that every day. Like, I want to play, like, every day until we finish it. I probably, what I'll do is, like, we'll start, like, the day it comes out, right? And we'll just go on and chill. And what I'll do is we'll have a touch grass rule where we won't play on the weekends. And then, or you guys could play. I will not play on the weekends so I can just enjoy life and then come back to it and then play it with you guys so we can experience it. Like, I want to do that and enjoy it because it's going to be like a LAN party, but it's not, It's like a on-LAN party, But there's so many experiences in Star Wars that you can get, and I'm doing this. There's so many experiences in Star Wars that you can get. And I feel like the modern day Star Wars fans does not have that experience. There's no lining up for a midnight release for Jedi Fallen Order and Pokemon, which was a thing, by the way. That was, in my opinion, the last midnight release that GameStop held, and that was with Pokemon Sword and Shield and Jedi Fallen Order. I was there. Just like I was for Halo 3, Halo ODST, Halo Reach, Halo 4. I was first in line, day, baby. Ain't nobody beat me. I still got the shirt to prove it. But there's nothing like that these days. There's no Battlefront midnight release. There's nothing. A Star Wars: The Old Republic was another midnight release I did. I still have the game case, I just feel like Star Wars fans don't have that. Do you guys remember when The Force Awakens and Last Jedi was coming out and The Rise of Skywalker? They did Force Fridays. I don't know if you guys remember that. I was waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go to the Target, and the Target was always selling brand new stuff that was coming out. Maybe it was being sold at GameStop, maybe it was being sold at Target. That was the closest I think this fandom has had to anything that was relative to that era of gaming and Star Wars. And it's something that I feel like a lot of fans are never going to witness unless there is a new event like that, I don't know, man. I drive by my GameStop every other day, and I see the Halo 3 post out there still to this day. And it's just reminiscent of an era that I just feel like was enthralled with people made video games because they wanted video games to be good. People made movies because they wanted movies to be good, And when I think about this Knights of the Old Republic remake, I am just seeing the inner Star Wars fan that didn't really read books yet but was absolutely intrigued by the idea of those things, didn't get his opportunity and probably never will again. And that's what I think that this hope of this Knights of the Old Republic remake is just waning. It's leaving slowly. The candle is eventually going to go out. And I think that's the worst part about it, man. But I don't know, man. I could be just being really silly about it, but that's how passionate I am about the Knights of the Old Republic remake. And I just think an actual official piece of concept art would do so much. And it would have to be so much. Reap says, I miss the days when I first got into PC gaming and saw the massive horde of Star Wars game that, in fact, was there for like the fourth in development and released like a year or two. Then they all got canned. Yeah, man. I remember picking up the Aftermath on Force Friday. That's sick. That's cool. I got so much stuff on Force Friday. Man, it's just... that's one of my favorite memories. Honestly, that's one of my favorite memories is the last Force Friday before the Rise of Skywalker. I just it felt fun. Mandalorian. Can I show you guys? Can I get ones in the chat? Can I show you guys? All right. I'm gonna be a freaking big nerd right now. I'm gonna show you guys. Okay. I'm gonna show you. You guys didn't even hit one, so I'm hitting one for you. Okay. Give me 1 second. So there's so many more, right? So there's so Logan's hits too. So I don't have a car at this point in my life, right? And I'm outside of Target at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and there's this girl in front of me, and she's talking to me. She's got a whole bunch of Star Wars tats on her, and she's talking about this and what she wants to get. And, and I'm just like, yeah, if I see something, I'm gonna get it. And she wanted the land speeder, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure. If I see it, I'll give it to you. So I walk in there, I see the land speeder, she gets it, and I'm just like looking at all these things, and she's like, what's this? What's that? And I was just like, I don't know. I did not know this was a thing. So I start grabbing all the Funko Pops, and there was this Mandalorian that was there, and this Mandalorian, but this was before the show had come out, and it was before, I didn't know about the best car and everything else that was going on, but there was two, and it was this beautiful shiny Black Series box, and it was so damn cool, and it was the only one. So I was like, do you guys want that one? Do you guys? And they're like, no, I haven't seen the show yet. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. And I'm just like, okay, well, dibs. So I took it. And this, this stuff isn't around anymore, and I'll never forget having this one. But I had so much other shit, guys. So it was Funko Pops galore. I got like all the characters that were going on. It was just like I was allowed to do it. I had never really had that opportunity in my life. I was making my own money. I was doing my own thing. I didn't have anyone to tell me no or anything like that for any stupid reasons. So I just got it, and I felt really good. And then Target opened up, and then I walked over to GameStop across the street, and I'm carrying all this shit, and everyone's looking at me. Look at that freaking dork with all his Star Wars shit. I'm like, yeah, that's me, bro. What's up? And so I'm waiting outside GameStop, and they open up GameStop, and they are the ones that have like all the Jedi Fallen Order stuff. They got Cal Kestis, they got the sister, they got BD, they got the Funko Pops too. And so I get all that. And they also had the white boxes for Mando, And I felt like, I don't know, man. Like, it represents like an era of Star Wars that I just think doesn't exist right now. Because when you walk into Target and you see that Star Wars aisle, it's just so underwhelming. Like, it's just so underwhelming. Like, the Black Series that come out then are so much better. Like, I don't know what happened, but the faces, if you guys can check on TikTok, the faces are nowhere near as like profound and in depth. There's so much detail back then, and now it's just like, dude, I can't even tell some of these characters the way they look. And then sometimes they got spots all over them and stuff. It doesn't look as good, and so I stopped. But when I did, and I have the carbonized versions of these characters, man, it's so cool, dude. It is so sick. And I miss that. Yeah, I miss that feeling of this stuff is new coming out. I feel that way with the Lego. When Lego comes out, it's cool. Like, it still makes me feel super hyped. But a lot of the new Star Wars toys don't, Leon says, can you expand on how you felt about Episode 9 from the first trailer to release? So, The Last Jedi put me into depression. The Last Jedi... okay, so I was really excited for The Last Jedi. I thought The Last Jedi was going to be the best Star Wars movie. And for a lot of people it was. And for people that love it, I'm so happy for you guys. Like genuinely I'm so happy for you. I wish I was you. But for me it was very hurtful and I was disappointed with it. And after that movie, I was so upset that I ended up waiting in line again and watching that movie again because I wanted to see if what I was feeling was genuine, you know? And I didn't like the movie. But everybody I saw the movie with loved the movie. They loved the movie so much. They thought the movie was amazing. And I was like, oh my God, dude, I'm such a shit person, dude. I don't like Star Wars. What the flip? You know? And I remember, you know, my entire family was like, well, ask Dagovere. He knows. He's a big Star Wars nerd. And, you know, they were asking me about all these questions, and I was like, I don't know, bro. This movie made me upset. And they were like, what do you mean? You're the big Star Wars idiot. Idiot. You know? So I didn't understand, like, was I the problem? You know, and then eventually The Last Jedi comes out and everyone's talking about it ruined Star Wars, you know, all that crap that everybody's talking about. I didn't believe that. I just felt like it completely misunderstood the assignment, you know? Or at the very least, it took way too many risks. Which is why I love The Force Awakens, because The Force Awakens was safe. And I felt like Disney needed to show to me that they understood and could summarize what Star Wars was. And that's what it was. That's what The Force Awakens was to me, and I love The Force Awakens. So the Rise of Skywalker trailer releases, and it looks like a good trailer. It looks very good. But Carrie Fisher dies. You know, I think a few weeks before The Last Jedi releases. And she's in the trailer. And her theme's in the trailer. And so I instantly thought that that movie was going to have issues because of that, you know. I thought what they did was it was a giant risk. I'd argue much a bigger risk than what The Last Jedi took. But as I was getting closer to the movie, because I only ever watched the first teaser trailer of every show. Because when I watch the trailer more than once, I understand what the movie's going to be about. Because I'm not an idiot. I mean, I'm stupid, but I'm not an idiot, you know? And especially when it's Star Wars, I obsess and I think about stuff and I instantly start to understand what's happening in the movie. So I only ever watch the teaser trailer once, and that's it. So I was getting, you know, the movie was getting closer and closer, and I think it was the Duel of Fates trailer that had come out. And I think that was on Twitter, so I ended up seeing it when I didn't want to see it. And I saw that Kylo Ren's cape wasn't even in the reflection of the water. And I also, because I also do editing, and I also understood that the track was being played was not from John Williams. It was from an independent studio person that was making that. I knew that the movie was not going to be what I hoped. And I understood from that moment on, it was trying to cling on something that it wasn't going to be. So the movie started, and I thought that the way that they introduced Palpatine was insane, but also, like, from the crawl. Insane, but I thought it worked, because the Empire, the Return of the Jedi is the same way too. The Emperor just shows up, and he's there. So I was like, okay, Return of the Jedi vibes, cool. And then freaking Kylo Ren might have one of the best openings in all of Star Wars films outside of Revenge of the Sith. And I was like, holy shit, this movie might be really freaking good. And then it went downhill from there. And that was my experience. That was honestly my experience. Just watching the movie. And I think it was because at that point I was just kind of, It's not the story that I wanted, and that's okay. It wasn't for me at that point. The prequels were for me, you know, um, but it just made me do this puzzle right in the middle of the stream. The prequels were for me, but I get it, and it sucks. But at the same time, too, it's not all bad, and that's how I just feel about the last two movies. Really love the Force Awakens, but the rest of the story was just not for me, and that's okay. That's how I feel. Those are my honest, unfiltered feelings about that entire process. I still get really excited though for everything Star Wars. Even when I talk about the sequel trilogy and what if and shoulda, woulda, coulda. I get very excited for it. I think that's probably a redeeming factor that I have, but I can't. That's not something other people have. Usually when you cheat on somebody or you hurt somebody, they're never gonna, be happy with you and cut you off. I'm just one of those stupid people that just decide to let people back in my life, because I see the full potential of them. That's just a flaw of mine, I guess, because I always have faith in somebody, and I have a lot of faith in Star Wars because I love it. So that's just the honest truth about me. Leon says, Return of the Emperor had me so hyped, but the closer we got to the movie, the more I wondered who was going to be the hero to counter the big villain. Then that led to this final battle feeling more and anticlimactic, and me feeling more and more worried about the movie before the release. Then I saw it, and was the most mediocre movie theater experience I've ever had. I will say that as much as I dislike The Last Jedi movie theater was one of the loudest movie theaters I've ever been in. And people clapped at the end of that movie. Like, when I got out of that movie and I saw people actually were hating on that movie, I was so confused, because when I tell you everybody that I saw it with and everybody that I understood that I had seen it, they all loved this shit. Like, everybody was coming out cheering of the movie theater that I was at. Like, I felt like, I don't know. There's this, let me see if I can find it for you. Let me see. It's from Barcelona. It's Barcelona girl. Let me see, where is it? Barcelona girl gif. I'm trying to show you guys where everybody's celebrating, and she's the only one not celebrating. I'm gonna find something. Barcelona girl in stands. Oh yes, is this it? Let me see if I can find this. Nope. Okay, yeah. So this is it. Let me see. Okay, so I'm gonna find it. I just found it. So this is it right here, where everybody is cheering, and the girl is just like sad. Like, everybody is having the time of their life, and the girl is just sad, and that's how I felt. That is genuinely how I felt. That's me. I was just, dude. Like, that was me. I was that girl. Like, or I was just like, everybody is like, oh my God, Luke Skywalker died. Yeah. And they're cheering, at the end of that movie, clapping. And I'm just like, and I brought Thrawn Alliances in that theater, and I was reading it. And so I was the Star Wars nerd in the movie theater too, because I'm a freaking idiot and I always bring attention to myself. And the people are that, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know, I don't know. That's what I told him. Oh man. So yeah. That was the experience, I think that's another reason why I'm so level-headed, or I try to be level-headed about these things, is because I don't want anyone to feel like how I felt like, And it's not just how I felt in the theaters. it's also how I felt as a prequel trilogy fan, because when I was a prequel trilogy fan, people were shitting on Revenge of the Sith and Attack of the Clones and the Phantom Menace, and I love those movies. And I remember always talking about them and people shitting on those movies so much, and I really hated that. That really made me really sad. And it was only until I went on YouTube, like several years after high school, where I found that people actually enjoyed the prequels and actually enjoyed Hayden Christensen as an actor and actually thought his portrayal of Anakin was perfect, you know? So I don't want anyone to feel the way that I did in any phases of my life. So in the prequel trilogy and the sequel trilogy, you know? So I do my best to kind of hold back my raw feelings and understand everybody else that enjoys them, and be somewhat of a guide or a filter for the people that feel the same way I do, if it's negative towards these shows. So that's why I've always tried to tell my feelings without throwing things and saying, "Damn it, Dave Filoni, you should hire me, batch," you know. So, you know, where's Talon Card? What the hell's Mara Jade? Boy, what the hell you talking about? Can't have no damn Mara Jade in my goddamn Empire, you know? so, yo, thank you so much, T-Rye. I appreciate you, fam. You're awesome, dude. Yeah, where the hell's Waru? What you talking about? Well, you don't know the Sith. You don't know the Sith species on Morabon. It's not Morabon, it's Korriban. Anyway, guys, it's been really fun. I really appreciate you guys. But I'm getting a little crazy, and I'm still sick from everything else. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this today. And as always, you guys know, check bad takes. Okay, I will check bad takes. When I finally catch baby. Oh my God! What are you doing, Logan? Oh my God! You should be banned for that. Oh my God, that is great. That is so wrong. Oh my God. I can't believe you just did that. I'm done. Hey, TikTok live, we out. Thank you so much, guys. We got to go. Deuces. Misclick. I doubt that. I doubt that. Oh my God, dude. Thank you guys for being in here. I really appreciate it. Make sure you understand, and please go and check, if you haven't already, every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, the horror playlist. Oh, I didn't read your question? My bad. Let me see. 1 second. I want to make sure. Okay, what was your reaction to Palpatine's laugh at the end? Oh, the Phantom Menace? Or the Rise of Skywalker? Wait a minute, what? What are you talking about? Oh, the end of the trailer? At the end of the trailer? You're talking about the trailer, right? Don't make me go rewatch Rise of Skywalker again and see this stuff. Yeah, episode 9. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I loved it. Like, so, okay, I don't know. I don't know how Logan feels about the Dark Empire series, but I love the Dark Empire series. I don't, like, people talk shit a lot about, like, how bringing Palpatine is bad, you know, bringing Palpatine back is bad, and you know, like, Palpatine is the be-all. What the hell are you all talking about, man? He's the one that freaking manipulated the Chosen One. Who you think it's gonna be Snoke? He's gonna be the big bad of the whole series? Come on. Of course it's Palpatine. You know? Of course. Listen. All right, I'm going to tell you, as much as I dislike the sequel trilogy, there are 2 things that could have changed the entire trajectory of my opinion and how I defend and talk about the sequel trilogy. Rule number 1 thing I would have changed is killing off Luke Skywalker. Give me the entire Last Jedi movie. Just don't kill off Luke Skywalker. My view completely changes, okay? The last thing, before you guys get me freaking crazy and give me more freaking gray hair, look like goddamn Doctor Strange, okay? Or Reed Richards. The other thing is just have Anakin Skywalker show up. Just have Anakin Skywalker show up on Exegol. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. That's it. If Anakin's... Because Anakin Skywalker shows up... Anakin Skywalker shows up in the comic with Rey and Luke. And in the final frames of Palpatine dying, Anakin is right there. I just don't understand why you didn't do it in the movie, man. But Rey should have beat him himself. Yeah, I know, but he's a fucking That's it. That's it. I feel like if you change those things, I would actually love those movies. I don't care how flawed they were. I would love them because at least it showed respect to those who came before. You know, that's it. That's it, man. That's all I want. That's all I wanted. That was it. That was it. That's it. Brother Gray Hair Fam. I was born with it. I've had it since birth. Remember Anakin resurrection rumors? What? Read Shadow of the Sith. It's a great book. Leon, genuinely, you should read Shadow of the Sith. And yeah, Logan and I, we love Dark Empire. We about that life, you know. Blow up a planet. All right, guys. That's enough of me crashing out today. And you guys know, as always, coming into the Dark Temple, visited by Mara Jade, Luke Skywalker, and Kyle Katarn, and so many other Force sensitives like yourself, I'm Lord Dagovere, fam. And I'll see you around. Deuces.